So, I am the Reverend Liz Williams, and this service for an Agape meal on Maundy, Thursday comes from the Episcopal Church's book of occasional services. It talks about a Maundy, Thursday Agape, a meal together around a table. It says that the celebration of festal meals is not appropriate during Holy Week. In Christian tradition, such festivities take place only after the Lenten fast has been completed by the celebration of the Great Vigil, which is the Passover feast of Christians, and the reception of Easter communion. If it's desired to share a meal after the Maundy, Thursday Eucharist, the following order can be observed. So a meatless meal is to be observed. So we have a meatless soup, and appropriate foods include cheese and olives and dried fruit, bread and wine, or juice, as I have here. You'll notice that the table is set with a beautiful cloth that's plain, just one color, and things are placed on it that have meaning. So I have a candle that comes from the tomb where Jesus was laid in Jerusalem, and I have a wood cross with Jesus on it that also came from Jerusalem. There's a candle that can be lit, a plant if you'd like, no flowers for this meal. I've also included on the table the crosses made for Palm Sunday last Saturday. The shofar was used to call people to worship, and we have that here on our table. There are blessings to say over the wine. I have the wine here in both a jug to be poured into other glasses and in a special glass for Eucharist. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe. You create the fruit of the vine, and on this night you have refreshed us with the cup of salvation in the blood of your Son, Jesus Christ. Glory to you forever and ever. Amen. And then a blessing over the bread, and there's bread for with the meal and bread reserved for communion. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe. You bring forth bread from the earth, and on this night you have given us the bread of life in the body of your Son, Jesus Christ. As grain scattered upon the earth is gathered into one loaf, so gather your church in every place into the kingdom of your Son. To you be glory and power forever and ever. Amen. So there are some other rubrics, some other directions that are given. During the meal, while you're eating or toward its close, a person appointed may read the 17th chapter of John. And then it can conclude with a psalm, such as Psalm 69, 1-23, or with a song or a prayer or a blessing or a dismissal. There's bread and there is wine left over, so that before we strip the altar in the church, we would have communion. We don't have the ability to have communion together, but it's nice to have it on a special plate and in a special chalice to remind us of the time when we were able to sit together after an Agape meal and celebrate the Eucharist. Once dinner is done, very carefully remove all things from the table, making sure that you take a damp cloth and wipe your table down very carefully, as it is a place where your family gathers to have a meal. And then give a blessing to each of those that have been at your dinner.